Chapter 1. Part 1. Ava. I step out of my car and slowly make my way towards the mansion. My hands are shaking uncontrollably, and my body is drenched in sweat. It still feels like a dream that it's finally over, that I'm finally free from the shackles of my marriage to him. The evidence of my found freedom lies safely in my handbag. The sight of his car parked in the driveway makes me halt in my tracks, and my stomach knots up. He didn't even bother to text. He rarely does, but it doesn't sting like it used to. I've become accustomed to his cold shoulder, to him treating me as if I was invisible. Letting out a heavy sigh, I push the door open and enter the house. The moment I step inside, my son's laughter fills the air. It's warm, cheerful, and the only sound that makes me feel truly alive, that makes me feel loved. In the living room, Noah is sitting beside his father on the couch. Both of them are hunched over his phone, laughing at some video. Their heads are tilted towards each other, creating such a natural and easy-going picture that it still breaks my heart a little. Mom. Noah grins broadly when he sees me. Dad came to pick me up early. I see that, I say, forcing a smile that barely reaches my eyes. My ex-husband, Rowan, glances up, his expression impossible to read. Your phone was off. I was at the attorney's, I reply, keeping my tone calm and neutral. I had to pick up the finalized divorce papers. He frowns slightly. You could have told me. I don't respond. I simply place my bag on the table and head down the hallway to change into more comfortable clothes. My heart starts pounding as I return, hearing their voices long before I enter the room. Why are you and Mom getting a divorce? Noah asks in a quiet voice. I stop in my tracks. My hands, still trembling, clasp my chest, and my heart aches at the sadness in his voice. I would do anything to spare him this pain, but this divorce was inevitable. Our marriage had been a colossal mistake from the start. Everything about us was wrong. It just took me a while to wake up to the truth. It's complicated, Rowan says. How? Noah persists. You're either together or you're not. Rowan exhales deeply before answering softly. You know why, Noah, your mother and I aren't a couple anymore. It's truly strange. Throughout the entire duration of our marriage, he has never once spoken to me softly. It was always cold, emotionless, and devoid of any warmth. He's frowning now, trying his best to make Noah understand so that he'll stop asking questions. But Noah is my son, and curiosity runs in his blood. Noah's voice drops even lower. Is it because you don't love us anymore? I catch my breath mid-inhale, and my heart lurches. For a split second, I forget how to breathe. His innocent words cut through the air like a knife, small but devastating. I don't even realize I'm gripping the wall until my fingers start to hurt. I know what his answer will be. I've always known. Probably everyone except Noah knows that brutal truth. He loves Noah with all his heart, but when it comes to me, it's a completely different story. The truth is, Rowan never loved me and never will. It was as plain as day, and knowing that still hurts like hell, even after all this time. I feel my heart breaking all over again. Because there's nothing more painful than loving a man who only sees you as the wrong choice. The wrong woman. The wrong wife. The wrong everything. What? Who told you that? Rowan sounds startled. Noah shrugs. I haven't seen Mom with anyone else, so maybe you love someone else now. I haven't been able to even think about anyone else since the divorce process started, and even before that. The love I had for Rowan destroyed me in ways I'll probably never recover from. Love is the last thing on my mind right now. Rowan always held back. He never allowed himself to love me. I kept giving my all, and he kept pushing me further away. No matter what I did or how hard I tried, I could never touch his heart. Our marriage was never truly ours. She was always there, hanging over every moment of silence, every memory, every bit of space between us. He refused to let go of her, while I suffered in silence, because the man I loved, the man I was married to, loved someone else and despised me. Tears well up in my eyes, but I quickly wipe them away. I'm so tired of crying, so tired of chasing after a man who doesn't want me. So, instead, I step into the room before Rowan can respond. My voice is calm on the surface, but inside, my chest feels like it's shattering into a million pieces. That's enough, Noah. Rowan's gaze snaps to me, his jaw clenched tightly, his eyes filled with accusations that he can't voice in front of our son. I ignore his cold, mocking eyes and turn to my son. My pride and joy, the only good thing in my life. His good looks are definitely thanks to his dad. He has my brown hair and his father's piercing gray eyes. Noah, go pack your bag. He hesitates. But, now, sweetheart, I whisper gently. Fine, but no fighting, he commands before leaving. I stand there awkwardly, watching him go, my eyes scanning the room. Rowan left me this house as part of the divorce settlement, but I'm planning to move. It's been my home for 9 years, but I feel out of place here, as if I don't belong. And, in truth, I probably never did. Knowingly or unknowingly, he built this house with her in mind. This was her dream house, right down to the color scheme. That should have been the first red flag that he wasn't going to let her go, that he would never return my love. I should have seen it coming, but I still clung to the hope that he would change. As soon as Noah is out of earshot, Rowan slowly rises from the couch, his eyes burning into mine. What lies have you been telling him? Nothing, I shoot back. He's 9, Rowan. He's just trying to make sense of what's going on. You made me the bad guy. Rowan, I sigh, unable to finish the sentence. No. Fucking no. You upended my life 9 years ago, and now this? Is this your way of getting revenge? Turning my son against me, because I didn't love you. Newsflash. Ava, I fucking hate you. He's breathing heavily by the time he finishes. His angry words pour out of his mouth like bullets, hitting me straight in the heart. I feel each one pierce my already fragile heart, shattering it into even tinier pieces. What can I say when the man I still love says he hates me? Rowan glares at me, his icy eyes filled with pure hatred. Do something like that again, and I swear you'll regret it. I only put up with you for Noah's sake, but if you dare try to brainwash him again, I'll take him away from you. Permanently. His words send a chill down my spine. Rowan doesn't make idle threats. He delivers warnings. If he says he'll take Noah from me, he'll do exactly that. With the support of both our families, he can do whatever he wants. I put the divorce decree down on. I was about to say something, anything to defend myself, when my phone rings. I take it out of my bag and check the caller ID. Mother. I want to ignore it, but she never calls me unless it's something serious. I swipe the screen and put the phone to my ear. I sigh. Mother. She doesn't give me a chance to finish. Get to the hospital right now. Your father has been shot, she says in a panic before hanging up. My phone slips from my hand, and for a moment, I'm frozen in place. What is it? Rowan's voice cuts through the haze. I pick up my phone, my hand still shaking. It's father, I whisper, my heart racing. He's been shot. Hashtag chapter 2. I need to go. Can you please stay with Noah? I have no idea how long I'll be there. I say absent-mindedly as I grab my handbag. Sure. I'll be there as soon as I can get my mother to come babysit him. Rowan replies, but his words are drowned out by the ringing in my ears. I barely register anything as I say goodbye to my son and leave. I get into my car and start driving to the hospital. My mind is lost in a sea of memories. Growing up, I can say that I was emotionally neglected. I was the child that my parents didn't really care about. Father's favorite was my older sister, Emma. He used to call her his baby girl, his princess. Mother's favorite was my older brother, Travis. He was her handsome boy. I was no one's favorite. I was just Ava. I always felt unwanted, like an outsider. Not only with my parents, but also with my siblings. No matter what I did, whether it was getting good grades, participating in sports, or joining school clubs, I always ended up on the sidelines. I always felt like a spectator, never a part of the big, happy family. After what happened 9 years ago, the little relationship I had with my family completely vanished. Travis rarely talked to me, and he and father would go out of their way to ignore me. Mother wasn't much better. She only talked to me or called when she had something important to tell me. With my sister, it was a whole different ballgame. We haven't seen or spoken to each other in 9 years. The last thing she said to me was that I was dead to her, that she no longer had a sister. Now here I am, driving to the hospital because father has been shot, and all I feel is numb. Despite everything that's happened, shouldn't I be feeling something more? Maybe sadness? What are you supposed to feel when you're told that the father who ignored you your whole life is lying in a hospital bed with a bullet wound? How am I supposed to react? And is it strange that I feel nothing? The whole drive to the hospital is filled with introspection. I think about my childhood and even parts of my adulthood. The pain and hurt are still there, raw and fresh. I don't think the pain of being rejected by my own family will ever go away. That's who I am. A rejected woman. First by my family, then by my husband and in-laws. The only one who accepts me and loves me just the way I am is Noah. It doesn't take long to reach the hospital. There's only one major hospital in this town, and I knew that's where my father would be. I park my car and get out. The cool evening breeze ruffles my hair. I take a deep breath, straighten my shoulders, and enter the building. I'm looking for James Sharp. I think he was brought in for a gunshot wound. I tell the receptionist when I reach the front desk. Any relation? She asks. He's my father. She nods. Give me a minute. She pauses as she types on her computer. Right, he's in the ER getting ready for surgery. Just go straight ahead, and at the end, you'll see the emergency door. You'll find your family there. Thanks. I turn around and follow her directions. My heart beats faster with every step I take. He's going to be okay. He'll recover soon and go back to normal, I whisper to myself. Despite our differences, I want him to be well. He may not have been a great father to me, but he's loving towards Noah, and that's all that matters to me. I push the door open and enter. I immediately spot Mother and Travis sitting on the waiting chairs. I compose myself and walk towards them. Mother, Travis, I say as a greeting. They both look up at me. Mother's eyes are red and swollen from crying, and her blue sundress is stained with blood. Travis's eyes are dry, but you can still see the toll this is taking on him. He's trying to stay strong for Mother's sake. I sit down next to her. What happened and how is he doing? My question makes her burst into fresh tears. He was shot twice on his way back from the store right outside our house. I called the ambulance immediately, and we brought him here. The doctors say one of the bullets hit his lungs, and the other his kidney. They're getting him ready for surgery. Her voice breaks at the end. I nod. I want to comfort her, to hug her, but I don't think she'd welcome my touch. Don't worry. Father is the strongest man I know. He'll be okay. I try to reassure her. She doesn't say a word. She just keeps crying. Minutes later, they bring Father out. He's wearing a hospital gown and lying on a hospital bed. Travis and Mother immediately stand up and rush to his side. I stay seated. I'm pretty sure my face is the last thing he wants to see. He'd probably rather it be Emma's. I watch as Mother cries over him. He weakly wipes her tears away, but they keep falling. He tells Travis something, and Travis nods. His face is set with determination. Before they take him away, I see him hand over what looks like a paper to Mother. This makes fresh tears stream down her face. She kisses him, and they wheel him away. Mother and Travis come back and take their seats. We sit in silence as we start the long wait. I stand up, pace around, and then sit back down. I go and get everyone coffee. As each minute passes, I get more and more anxious, and the others seem to feel the same way. 2.5 hours later, the doctor comes to the waiting area. From the solemn look on his face, I can tell that Father didn't make it. Mother senses it too, because she starts hiccuping.
He went into cardiac arrest.
We did everything we could, but we couldn't save him. I'm sorry for your loss, he says. The sound that comes from Mother's lips is primal, full of pain and sorrow. Travis catches her before she falls, and they both sink to the floor, crying together at the loss. Father was dead, and I knew that meant Emma would have to come back. Chapter 3. I sat on the cold hospital chair, taking deep breaths in and out. Mother was still sobbing uncontrollably, and nothing seemed to console her. My heart ached for her. I know how hard it is to lose the man you love so suddenly. It was still a shock. I had expected him to make a full recovery, but now he was gone, and I didn't know how to feel. We never really saw eye to eye, and even though he hated me, I still loved him. He was my father after all. How could I not love him? You okay? Rowan asks, sitting down beside me. He arrived about an hour ago, and this is the first time he's spoken to me since then. I didn't know what to make of the concern he was showing. After all, he's never really cared about my feelings before. Yeah, I managed to say. I haven't shed a single tear since we heard the news. Maybe it's just delayed shock, or maybe I've run out of tears for him. Right now, I'm trying my best to hold it together while everyone else is falling apart. I notice someone's feet in my peripheral vision, and when I look up, I see Travis staring at me. Just like always, there's no warmth in his eyes when he looks at me. I know what I did was wrong, but haven't I paid enough for that night?
What?
I ask him. Mom called Emma when Dad got shot, so she should be arriving soon. She still doesn't know that Dad didn't make it, he says. I hear Rowan take a sharp intake of breath. That's all I need to know that her name still affects him. The warmth he showed just a few minutes ago disappears, and I know that once again, I've lost him. I figured. I mumble because I don't know what else to say. I haven't spoken to her in years. I doubt she'd even want to be in the same room as me, given how much she hates me. I expect you to be polite and give her some space, Mother adds, wiping the tears from her face. Mother, you know what you're asking is almost impossible, I say. I don't care what's possible or not. You drove my daughter away 9 years ago with your betrayal. I won't let you do it again, especially now that your father is gone and we need each other, she says through gritted teeth. I hate how they keep bringing up the past. Haven't I already suffered enough for the stupid things I did when I was young and naive? Yet they keep punishing me. In case you've forgotten, I'm also your daughter. Or, am I also dead to you? I don't give her a chance to answer. I stand up and leave. I need some fresh air. I need to think. Once I'm outside, I take in the cold air. Tears sting my eyes, but I refuse to let them fall. What am I even doing here? Why did she bother calling me if she only thinks of Emma as her daughter? Part of me wants to just walk away and never look back. After all, I've never really felt like part of their family, and they've never treated me like one. I should just leave and forget about them, just like they seem to have forgotten about me. Ma'am, are you James Sharp's daughter? A nurse appears out of nowhere, scaring me half to death. I nod my head after calming my racing heart. You're needed. They're viewing the body, she tells me softly, probably trying to be sensitive to my feelings. Okay, just give me a minute. She leaves, giving me some time to make up my mind. Despite his neglect, he still provided for me, so I owe him this. With that in mind, I decide. I'll give him a proper burial, and then after that, I'll wash my hands of them. They can be their perfect little family. They won't have to put up with me anymore. I go back inside and ask for directions to the morgue. By the time I get there, the others have already finished viewing his body. I look down at him. He's lying cold on the slab, looking so peaceful. It's like he's just asleep. You'd think he was just resting, but instead, he's dead. His soul has long since left his body. Goodbye, Father, I tell him. I give him one last look before leaving the cold room. I shake off the heavy feeling in my heart, knowing that he isn't the only one I'll be saying goodbye to. They'll never love me, and it's time I let go of that dream. I get to the waiting area and take the seat furthest away. Mother is sorting through papers and bills. Travis is staring at the wall, looking lost and alone. Rowan is nowhere to be seen. Sitting there, I think about all the things I have to do. It'll be almost impossible to avoid them, but I'm determined to try. This is the only way I know to protect my peace of mind. I'm so tired of being in pain all the time, of having my heart broken by the people around me. I hear a commotion nearby and look up. That's when I see her. She's still as stunning as ever. Long blonde hair, long legs, a heart-shaped face, and a sexy body that drives men wild. Travis is hugging her, whispering words of comfort. Something he didn't do for me when I arrived. Just like always, I feel a pang of longing and pain, but I push it down. They separate just as Rowan arrives. The moment he sees her, his knees almost give way. I can see the way his Adam's apple bobs. Emma? His voice is choked as he calls her name. So many emotions are packed into that one word. Her head turns in his direction. The moment their eyes meet, everything else fades away. It's like there's nothing in the world but the two of them. In an instant, they're in each other's arms. If I thought seeing Travis hug Emma hurt, I had no idea how this would destroy me. Emma was back. Seeing her in Rowan's arms, I didn't need anyone to tell me the truth that had always been right in front of me. He was still madly in love with her, even after all these years. #, Chapter 4. Have you ever felt like your heart has been put through a meat grinder? That's exactly how I feel right now, looking at them. I feel like my heart has been torn into a million pieces. If I could just rip out this useless organ and throw it away, I would. Because the pain I'm feeling is unbearable. I want to run away, to look away, but I can't. My eyes are fixed on them, and no matter how hard I try to turn them, it's like they're glued there, watching this loving scene unfold before me. I watch as they finally separate. Rowan's eyes soften as he looks at the love of his life. I continue to watch as he cups her face in his hands and pulls her closer. He doesn't kiss her. He just rests his forehead against hers. He looks so peaceful, like he's finally home after a long journey. Like he's finally whole again. I've missed you. I read the words on his lips. I don't even want to think about what would happen between them if they had met under different circumstances, like when we were still married. Would he have cheated on me? Part of me wants to deny that thought, but I can't be sure. After all, this is Emma we're talking about. Rowan would do anything for her. I can't take it anymore. I stand up and rush outside. The moment I'm outside, the tears start to fall. It hurts so much, and I don't know how to make the pain stop. But who can I blame? I'm the one who fell in love with a man who is never mine. Please make it stop. Make the pain stop. I beg whatever higher power there is to listen to me. But there's no answer. No relief from the pain. My hands fly to my chest. I feel my chest tightening, and no matter how hard I try, I can't get enough air into my lungs. I feel like I'm slowly dying, fading away. This is what happens when you want a man who belongs to someone else. His mocking voice breaks through the fog. What do you want, Travis? If you're here to mock me or tell me to stay away from your precious sister, you can go back inside to your family. There's nothing for you here. I wipe my tear-stained eyes and put on a brave face. I won't let him see me cry. I won't give them the satisfaction of seeing me break down. He looks surprised at my words. The shock is written all over his face. I guess he never expected me to stand up to him. I just want you to understand that Rowan always belonged to Emma. Your selfishness took him away from her, but now they can be together. I hope you won't get in the way of their happiness.
They deserve it, he says.
I let out a sarcastic laugh. Oh, don't worry. I won't get in anyone's way ever again. After this, you won't have to see me or deal with me anymore. I mumble bitterly. He stares at me, his eyebrows furrowed in confusion. What do you mean? I'm so tired. All I want to do is go to sleep and forget this day ever happened. I'll cry myself to sleep and wake up feeling refreshed and ready to face whatever comes next. Tell Mother I'll come and help with the burial preparations, if she even wants my help. And tell your sister I said hi. With that, I walk away towards my car. I can hear Travis calling my name, but I don't turn around. I just want to go home and let the pain wash over me in private. I get into my car and drive home. Rowan told me that Noah was with his mother. I don't want to deal with another person who hates me right now. At least he's safe, so I'll pick him up tomorrow. I get home in record time. Being here alone just reminds me how truly alone I am. I have no one to comfort me, no one to take care of me, no one to love me. The only person who really loves me is Noah. Fresh tears start streaming down my face. I'm so tired of crying, but I can't seem to stop. If only I could go back in time and change things, maybe I'd be married to a man who actually loved me. But that's the thing about the past. Once it's done, it can't be changed. Chapter 5. There was nothing about this day that seemed like it would turn into a disaster. The sun was shining, and everything seemed to be in its place as I drove down the familiar streets. When we arrived at the chapel, it was packed. Almost everyone had come to pay their last respects. I looked around the place and was relieved to see that everything was set up properly. The others hadn't been much help with the burial preparations. I was the one who had to shoulder the entire burden. I didn't complain, though. I saw it as a way to pay him back for all he had done for me. After all, he had fed me, clothed me, and given me a roof over my head. The service was about to start, and most people were already seated. I decided to sit on the opposite side. It just didn't feel right sitting with the rest of them, especially not next to Emma. Mom, why are we sitting here? Shouldn't we sit next to Grandma? Noah asks, pointing at where the others are sitting. Of course, we're getting strange looks from people, but I don't care. After all, it's no secret that I'm not fully accepted by the family after everything that's happened. Most people are already seated. I don't want us to cause a commotion. I lie. He looks like he doesn't believe me, but he decides to let it go. Just as the priest arrives and the sermon begins, I feel someone sit down next to me. I tense up. I would recognize his presence and his cologne anywhere. I don't know what he's doing sitting here. He should be with his precious Emma. In fact, I'd prefer it if he was. Damn, I sound so bitter. And I am. Bitter, angry, and hurt. Dad, Noah whispers loudly, which makes a few people turn and look at us. I glare at them, and they quickly turn back around. Can I sit between the two of you? Noah whispers to me. I let out a sigh of relief. Thank goodness for small favors. I won't have to be so close to his suffocating presence. I carefully move our seats so that Noah can sit between us. The moment we switch, I feel the tension ease up a little. We all must leave this world one day. The question is, how will you leave it? Will you have made a difference, changed the world, and touched the lives of those you met? Or will you leave with regrets? The preacher asks. I can't help but think about it. If I were to die today, who would come to my funeral? Would the people around me even care? I'm kidding myself. They probably wouldn't. They'd probably throw a party. The only person who would be affected by my death is Noah. Just him and no one else. It's really sad. The life I have. I don't have any friends, mostly because I keep myself to myself. Living in Emma's perfect shadow has made me feel like I'll never be good enough for anyone. I'm not as beautiful, as sexy, as smart, or as loved as she is. I'm nothing compared to her. Even now, as we're older, I'm still in her shadow. No one notices my pain or suffering. It's all about Emma. Her pain is more important than mine. Her happiness is a priority. She always comes first, and I'm left trying to catch the scraps of their affection. Mommy. Noah's voice pulls me out of my thoughts. That's when I realize that the service is over, and everyone is leaving. Ava, you okay? His deep voice always sends a shiver down my spine. I don't want to talk to him, let alone look at him, but I have to because we'll be sharing Noah's custody for the next 10 years. I shrug my shoulders and stand up without looking at him. I know it seems rude, but I just can't look at him. Not when the memory of him looking at Emma with so much love is still so fresh in my mind. Come on, Noah, let's go. He jumps up and we walk towards the door. Once we're outside, we're surrounded by a crowd of people offering their condolences. I see some of my colleagues and wave at them. We haven't even buried father yet, and I'm already exhausted. So, you've finally decided to show your face, Emma's bitter voice says behind me. I turn around to face her. Her face is blotchy, and her eyes are red and puffy, but she still looks like a goddess. I sigh. I really don't want to deal with her right now. Not now, Emma. Can we just bury father first? She smiles and leans in so that only I can hear her. We will bury him, but let me tell you, I'm here to stay. You took my family from me all those years ago, but not anymore. I plan to take everything back, including the man who was meant to be mine, she says, then steps aside and leaves just as the preacher calls us to go to the cemetery. Noah looks back and forth between me and my sisters retreating back, but doesn't say anything. I'm shocked by her words, but I'm not really surprised. What she doesn't understand is that she doesn't have to take anything back because none of it was ever mine. The family she's talking about worships her. And Rowan? Rowan was and still is hers. I push down the pain that's trying to overwhelm me and lead Noah to the place where father will be buried. I stand a little ways away from Mother, Emma, and Travis. They're huddled together. Looking at them and then at me, you'd think I was just a stranger attending the burial, not part of the family. Dust to dust. The preacher says as they lower father's body into the ground. They start covering the coffin with soil until he's completely buried. Mother's wails are the loudest as she begs for father to come back. Emma and Travis are both crying silently as they hold her in their arms. I comfort Noah, hugging him as he cries beside me. Seeing him like this makes my eyes fill with tears. I hate seeing him in pain. I quickly wipe my tears away. I need to be strong for him.
He needs me now.
Once again, people come up to us to offer their condolences. I accept them absent-mindedly. It's like I'm there, but I'm not really present. By the time I snap out of it, most people have already left. Mom, there's Pa and Ma, Noah says, pulling me and pointing at Rowan's parents. They're there with Rowan and his twin brother Gabriel. I stand there awkwardly as Noah greets them. They glance at me, but don't say anything. We both know that I wasn't their first choice for their son. Can I go get snacks with them? Noah asks and I nod. He hasn't eaten in hours, so he's hungry. Once they leave, Rowan and I are left standing awkwardly beside each other. Now that his attention isn't on Noah, he's looking at Emma, who's standing a few feet away. I'm about to excuse myself when I hear the screeching of tires. Everything happens so fast. Men with guns start shooting. The moment they start, I see Rowan dive towards Emma. I stand there, shocked, as I watch him protect her with his body. I can't believe he left me to save her. Why am I even surprised? This just confirms that I'll never be his priority. Seeing him risk his life for her completely shatters something inside me. Watch out. A man in a bullet-proof jacket shouts at me. He pushes me out of the way, but it's too late. Something pierces my skin, and I fall from the impact. I can't breathe. Someone call an ambulance, he says, kneeling down next to me and putting pressure on the wound. I'm confused, dizzy, and in pain. I try to tell him I'm okay, but then I see blood soaking my dress and his hands. I hate the sight of blood. Oh, God. Noah. I whisper. He's the last thing on my mind before everything goes black. Chapter 6. Rowan. There's a strange feeling that comes over you when you see your ex-wife, the mother of your son, shot and bleeding on the cold cemetery ground. It's a feeling I never thought I'd have towards Ava. When I saw the men with guns pointing at us, I didn't think. I knew Noah was safe with my parents, so my instincts took over, and I dived for Emma. I'd die for her, and I was ready to do just that. I was relieved when the shooters ran away after seeing the police, but my relief was short-lived when one of the officers shouted for an ambulance. I turned around, wondering who was hurt, and I never expected it to be Ava. Seeing her like that almost made me collapse. After that, everything was a blur. The ambulance arrived, and the officer refused to let Ava go until he was sure she was in good hands with the doctor. I was angry at his reluctance to let her go. She was my ex-wife, but more importantly, I was angry at myself. I should have protected her. If something terrible had happened to Ava, how would I explain it to Noah? How would I justify failing to protect his mother? So here I am, pacing back and forth in the waiting room. I'm so worried because we haven't heard anything since Ava was rushed to the emergency room. No one has come out to tell us how she's doing. Please let her be okay, Kate, her mother, whispers. This is the first time I've heard any real emotion in her voice when she talks about Ava. I guess losing her husband and almost losing her daughter has softened her a bit. We're all here, except for Noah. Travis is sitting next to Kate, who's next to Emma. I sit down because I can't control my anxiety anymore. I need her to be okay, for Noah's sake.
I keep telling myself that.
I don't know how long we've been waiting, but when I look up, I see Ava. She's at the nurse's station, handing over some papers. Her left arm is in a sling, and she's struggling to put her credit card back in her bag. With difficulty, she manages to take out her phone, while still holding her bag. You can tell it's not easy for her by the frown on her face. Ava. I call as she's about to walk past us. Her eyes are still on her phone. She looks up. I immediately notice that something about her is different. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it's there. What are you doing here? Did someone else get hurt? She asks, her voice flat and emotionless. How are you doing? Her mom asks instead of answering. Unfortunately for you, I'm not dead yet, she says. Her answer takes everyone by surprise. Not only because of the way she says it, but also because of how cold it is. I decide to step in. Where are you going? Home, is all she says. Your hand is in a sling. You can't drive. I reason. That's why I called an Uber, she replies. Ava, we need to talk. It's about your father, Kate whispers, making Ava turn to her mother. There's something missing in her eyes. I can see it. She stares at her mother coldly. I don't see what that has to do with me. The last time I checked, he didn't consider me his daughter. A sob escapes her mother's throat, but Ava doesn't pay any attention. It's like she's turned off all her emotions and is just a cold, unfamiliar version of herself. She starts walking towards the door, but then stops. Where is my son? At Mom's house, Travis answers, his eyes fixed on her.
She sighs.
Looks like you'll get your talk after all. I'll drive you, I offer. This makes Emma frown, but she has to understand. No matter our differences, Ava is still Noah's mother, and she's hurt. And let's not forget, she was my wife. Surprisingly, Ava turns me down. No need. I'll take the Uber like I planned and meet you there. Without saying another word, she turns and leaves. We all stare at the spot where she was standing. Usually, she'd jump at the chance to be close to me. So we're all shocked that she rejected my offer. Let's go before she gets home and leaves before we can talk to her, Kate says softly, her voice still sad. We all came here together, so we pile into my Cadillac Escalade and drive off, breaking every speed limit. We get to Kate's house just in time to see Ava closing the door behind her. I park the car and get out. When we go inside, I see my parents, Gabe, and Ava, who's basically ignoring them. It's strange to see this side of her. Usually, she'd try to make small talk with them, even when they ignored her. Can we just get this over with? She says irritably as she sits down. James came to me with a business proposal. He wanted to partner with me, and I agreed because I thought it was a good investment. I begin. We signed the necessary documents, thinking it was a solid company. But later, we found out that the company was run by a criminal gang. Neither James nor I wanted anything illegal to touch our businesses. We knew it was inevitable if we continued, so we found a way to terminate the contract and reported them to the police. Okay, Ava says slowly, her eyebrows furrowed as if she's confused about where this is going. I sigh, already exhausted by the day's events. It turns out the gang members were among the most wanted. They didn't take it well that we'd exposed them, so they went into hiding. We thought the police would keep them away. Kate takes over. They started threatening your father. They said they'd make him pay, and then came after his wife and children. They blamed him because he was the one who approached them, even though he didn't know they were involved in illegal activities. We thought they were just bluffing until they shot your dad. Travis, Gabe, and my parents already know all this. I look at Emma, and I can see shock and fear on her face. Then I turn to Ava, and she still has that same cold, dead look in her eyes. I don't see how this has anything to do with me, she says calmly, her eyes piercing us like ice. She stands up. I'm going to get Noah and leave. Damn it, Ava, you're not taking this seriously, I say through gritted teeth. Doesn't she understand what this means? How much danger she's in? How today could have ended with us planning her funeral? I am, and I still don't see how this involves me, she replies. Travis growls, showing the same frustration I'm feeling. You were shot today. Shouldn't that tell you something? She glares at him. All it tells me is that I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Ava. Kate starts to speak, but Ava cuts her off.
No.
They were after the three of you, not me. Everyone in this city knows you don't consider me part of the family. So why would they go after someone you wouldn't care about if she died? Her words cut through the air, leaving us all cold. This is so unlike her. What the hell is going on? She turns to look at me. Her eyes are completely empty of emotion. It's like she's dead inside. The way she looks at me bothers me. I hate that I can't see any feeling in her eyes. If there's someone you should worry about, someone whose safety should be your priority, it's the woman beside you. She was his perfect daughter, so stop dragging me into this mess. She pauses and then looks at the rest of us. Stop your fake concern. I don't need it, and if I'm in danger, I'll handle it myself. I'd rather die than accept your protection. Her mother gasps, and we all stare at her in shock. We can't recognize the woman standing in front of us. Kate looks like she's been slapped. Emma jumps up and stares her down, trying to intimidate her. In the past, Ava would have backed down, but not this time. Stop being such a brat. You always want everything to be about you, she seethes, making Ava laugh without any emotion. I don't know where you've been, dear sister, but nothing is ever about me. It's always you. But that's not what we're talking about right now. I've lived without your protection for as long as I can remember. I don't know why you're suddenly so interested in my safety. It's fake, and I don't want fake people around me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go home. She turns and ignores Emma and the rest of us, as if we don't exist. I can't believe the words coming out of her mouth. She's talking to us like we're strangers, like we mean nothing to her. Noah, she shouts, and seconds later, We hear footsteps running. Soon, my son appears in the living room. His shocked gasp when he sees his mother makes me feel like the worst person in the world. "Mommy, what happened to your arm?" he asks, running over and hugging her. She gives him a one-armed hug. "Nothing, my love. I just bumped my arm on the door and the doctor had to fix it." She gently strokes his cheek. The cold look on her face completely disappears as she looks at our son. "Does it hurt?" "Just a little, but I'll be okay." "Now, come on, let's go home and have ice cream and cuddle," she says. This makes Noah's face light up with a big smile. His eyes shine at his mother's words. Ava tries to pick up his backpack, but Noah stops her. "I got it. I'm a big boy now. You'll see, when we get home, I'll take care of you and make the pain go away, just like you always do for me," he says. Ava smiles. Her smile transforms her whole face, melting the ice that had surrounded her. We all watch the mother-son interaction, unable to look away from the love they have for each other. "Is that woman your sister?" Noah asks, looking curiously at Emma.
No.
"I don't have a sister," she replies, then mumbles something else. "And neither do I have a family." I think we were all meant to hear that last part because there's a collective sharp intake of breath. I look at Noah, wondering if he heard what Ava said, but he seems not to because he's waving at me. "Bye, Dad," he says. "Bye, kiddo," I reply hoarsely. He says goodbye to the rest of us, and then they're gone. We're left in silence, each of us lost in thought. I keep staring at the door, completely confused about what just happened. Her cold and detached behavior has shaken me up. It's like she's pulled on some unknown strings deep inside me. This is a side of Ava that I've never seen before. It's foreign to me, and I don't like it one bit. Hashtag chapter 7. Hashtag Ava. I wake up with a stiff back and a throbbing arm. I'm in bed with Noah because he refused to leave me after we finished watching TV. I smile as I remember him saying that he was taking his job of taking care of me seriously and that he'd watch over me all night. With some difficulty, I managed to move him without waking him up. It's around 8 o'clock, and I need to make breakfast before he wakes up. After my morning routine, I go downstairs. I stand outside the kitchen for a moment, wondering how I'll manage to make breakfast with one arm. As I start to gather the ingredients for pancakes, memories of yesterday flood my mind. Everything that happened seems so unreal that part of me wonders if it was all just a dream. If it weren't for the bandage on my shoulder and my arm in a sling, I'd think it was a nightmare. When I woke up in the hospital after fainting, I panicked. It took both the doctor and the nurse to calm me down and assure me that everything was okay. She told me that the bullet was lodged in my shoulder but hadn't caused any major damage. I was lucky because, according to them, if it had hit lower, it would have struck my heart. They removed the bullet, cleaned the wound, stitched me up, and then put my arm in a sling. I was given antibiotics and painkillers. They told me to keep my arm elevated until my next appointment. As I cook the pancakes, I think about the man who tried to save me. I make a mental note to find out who he is so I can thank him. He was the only one who cared about my safety when my own family didn't seem to care at all. My thoughts are interrupted when there's a knock on my door. I wonder who it could be. I highly doubt there's anyone I want to see right now. The events of yesterday have soured my feelings towards the people I used to consider family. I walk to the door and gently open it. I'm surprised to see the man from yesterday standing on my doorstep. The first thing I notice are his blue eyes. They're the bluest eyes I've ever seen. I didn't notice them yesterday, probably because I was in shock and in so much pain. But now I see that the man is extremely good looking. He's at least 6 feet tall, muscular but not overly so, with a strong jaw and flawless skin. His dark brown hair is tousled in a sexy way, and his confidence is palpable. "Hey," I say, my voice rough like a smoker's. He gives me a beautiful smile. "Hey, can I come in?" "Yeah, sure," I say, stepping aside. He comes in, and I close the door behind him. I watch as he looks around my house. "Nice home," he says in a deep voice. "Thank you," I mumble. "I made some pancakes. Would you like some?" He nods, and I lead him to the kitchen. Before I can go back to making breakfast, he stops me, making me turn to face him. We haven't formally introduced ourselves. "I'm Ethan," he says, gently taking my hand, turning it over and kissing it. For some reason, I feel my face flush. I'm not used to this kind of attention and charm from men. I'm always the one who gets overlooked, the boring and plain sister.
I mave I stammer.
I already know that. Beautiful, he says, winking at me as he takes a seat at the kitchen island. I laugh uncomfortably because I don't know how to act. He exudes so much masculine energy, and it's all directed at me. I've never been in this situation before, and it's really unsettling. So, Ethan, no last name. What were you doing at my father's burial? I ask as I place a cup of coffee in front of him and then serve him a plate of pancakes. I take my own plate and cup and sit next to him. He chuckles as he looks at me. A threat had been reported, and since your father died because of that threat, the chief wanted us to be on the lookout in case the same people tried something with a mourning family, he says before taking a bite of the pancakes. So, you're a police officer? I've never seen you before, and I know almost everyone in this town. Yes, I'm an officer. I just moved here a few months ago. I've been swamped with work, so I haven't had much time to socialize, he replies after swallowing. I smile at him. Well, you can consider me one of your friends. I was actually thinking about how to find you this morning.
Why?
To thank you for saving my life. I don't remember everything, but I remember you putting pressure on the wound and shouting for an ambulance. I also remember how he rushed towards me. I truly believe that if he hadn't pushed me out of the way, the bullet would have hit my heart. So I owe him my life. I was just doing my job. Besides, it's not every day you get to hold a beautiful woman in your arms, even if she faints at the sight of her own blood, he teases, giving me another charming smile. Blood rushes to my cheeks. I laugh, trying to hide my embarrassment. I can tell he's a charmer from the way he smiles and winks. He's also a breath of fresh air, something I haven't had in my life for a long time. And what brought you to my doorstep, and how did you know where I live? I'm a police officer, remember? It was easy to find you. As for why I'm here, I wanted to make sure you were okay. I couldn't stay with you yesterday because I was called in to give a report. I went back to the hospital and was told you had been discharged. I didn't think it would be appropriate to come to your house at night, he says. I'm really taken aback. This stranger has shown me more care and compassion than anyone in my so-called family has ever shown me in my entire life. Except for Noah, of course. I don't know how to handle this because I'm not used to it. Thank you, I say slowly, my throat tightening with emotion. He looks at me strangely, but I ignore it and change the subject. We start talking and eating. It's really strange, but I'm completely at ease around him, even though he's a stranger. I can't remember the last time I felt this relaxed around someone who wasn't Noah. Around 40 minutes later, he leaves. We exchange numbers, but I'm not very hopeful that he'll ever call or text me, even though I had a great time. I'm just not the kind of woman men are interested in for a second encounter. I'm in the middle of cleaning the plates when there's another knock on the door. Noah is still asleep, and I'm in no hurry to wake him. Did you forget something? I ask as I open the door. My emotions shut down when I see that it's Rowan, not Ethan. Seeing his face just brings back all the pain. Remembering how he left me to save his precious Emma leaves a bitter taste in my mouth. There's no denying that I mean nothing to him. Yesterday just showed me how much he disregards and hates me. I push the pain and love I once had for him deep into the darkest corners of my soul. Rowan is dead to me, and I don't need to love someone who's already gone from my life.